Today we are going to read a news article to improve your English language skills. We are going to read a news article to improve your fluent English language skills. Uh, so welcome back, Smile English Learn Training. Of course, I am Zeeshan. This article is very important, taken by Dart News. So let's get started. United stance. Stance, that manner, pose, or posture in which one stands. The fencer stands short. He was all ready to begin. One's opinion to point of view. The important synonym is that positions, posture, stand. I don't agree with your stance on gun control. Beyond rhetoric, unity is rare within the Muslim world, yet it was reassuring to see Muslim states speak with one voice at the extraordinary OIC Obliques summit in Riyadh on Monday, specifically concerning the genocidal wars that Israel has unleashed the Palestinians and Lebanon. Beyond rhetoric, unity is rare within the Muslim world. Rhetoric, important meaning, rhetoric. The art of using language, specifically public speaking, as means to persuade meaningless language with an exaggerated style intended to impress. For example, it is only to use so much rhetoric. Reassuring. Reassuring to see Muslim states. Reassuring, that reassures, causing or restoring comfort and confidence. At one voice at the extraordinary OIC Arab League that is specifically concerning the genocidal wars, genocidal war that Israel has unleashed. That genocidal wars, the systematic and deliberate distractions of group of people, typically by killing substantial numbers of them on the basis of their authenticity, religious and nationality. A genocidal will always be followed by the denials that it ever happened, that unleashed in Palestine and Lebanon. Unleashed, not comparable. Unleashed, not comparable. Not leashed, without an lash on it. Without a leash on it. Figuratively freed from any restraint, physical or otherwise. Unleashed potential. Although it would have been better if the Muslim bloc had announced practical measures to punish Israel and its supporters for the murder of tens of thousands of Palestinians and Lebanese civilians. In the current circumstances, even coming together on one platform to denounce the genocidal violence is an achievement. Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman vowed to stand, stand by our brothers in Palestine and Lebanon while warning Israel to respect Iran's sovereignty. Although it would have been better, that which kind of sentences would have been better, would have been better. Would have been better is a verb phrase. Past past possibility. Something could have happened but not didn't. For example, I would have gone to the party if I had been busy. Regret or longing, wishing something had happened. I wish I would have studied harder in schools. Hypothetical situations exploring what if scenarios. For example, if I would have won the lottery, I would have traveled the world. Conditional sentences discussing conditional or uncertain event. For example, if it would have been rained, we would have stayed indoors. To form would have been used would plus have plus past participle been. I would have been happy to help. She would have been a great scientist. They would have been married years ago. If the Muslim blog had announced, had announced is the past perfect tense of the verb announce. It indicates that someone had made a public declarations or statements before a specific point in the past. For example, the company had announced its plan to expand into new markets before the pandemic. She had announced her retirement from professional sports in 2019. They had announced their engagement on social media. Important synonym had declared, had revealed. To denounce the genocidal violence. To denounce the genocidal violence and achievement. Denounce present participle denouncing. Past, simple past and past participle denounced. Transitive obsolete to make known in an formal manner, to proclaim, to announce, to declare. To denounce is a confederate, it's cremato, denounce someone to the authorities. Synonym is important that attack, charge. Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman vowed to. Vowed is not comparable, undertaken in accordance with a vow, so solemnly promised. Stand by our brother in Palestine and Lebanon while warning Israel to respect Iran's sovereignty. Is that respect Iran's sovereignty? Israel to respect Iran's sovereignty. Sovereignty is uncountable, the quality state of being sovereign. Synonym independence, nationality, nationalhood, credible. Credible in a view of the acrimony that has marked ties between the kingdom and Islamic Republic. This show of solidarity is credible. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif's sudden arms embargo against Israel. Indeed, such an embargo, as well as Muslim states' freezing of economic and diplomatic ties with Israel, should have happened as soon as Tel Aviv began its butchery in Gaza. The summit also reiterated the needs for Israel to vacate all occupied Arab lands, including the held Palestinian terrorists and the Golden Heights. In views of the acrimony is that in views of in views of is a prepositional phrase that considering, taking into account, in light of, because of, due to. It is used to introduce an fact that influences a decision, opinion to actions. For example, in views of the weather of forecast, we cancelled the outdoor event. Important synonym is that considering, taking into account, in light of, bearing in mind, given, due to, because of, in considerations, with regards, in views. Acrimony. Acrimony, a sharp and bitter hearted. Her acrimony for the neighbor manifests itself with shouting and stomping. Synonym as animosity, bitterness, enmity, hearted oppositions. That has often marked ties. That Islamic Republic, this show of solidarity is credible. Solidarity is credible. Credible is that credible or believable. That brings credit to honor, respectable. That can be assignable synonym. Believable, believable, credible. That brings credit, commendable, respectable. That can be assignable. Seeks, present participle, seeking. Simple past and past participle sought. To try, to find, to look for, to search for. I seek wisdom. Look for, search for. To ask for, to solicit, to beseech. I seek forgiveness through repentance. Embargo, as well as Muslim states, such as embargo. Embargo, an order by the government prohibiting ships from leaving port. A ban on trade with another country. Show a temporary ban or marking certain information public. Freezing of should have been happened as soon as until will begin its butchery in Gaza. The summit also reiterated that the needs for vacate all occupied. Freezing. Freezing, suffering, or causing frost. Extension chiefly hyperboles, very cold, with above to or below 0 C the freezing point of water. Synonym literally frosting, frigorific, very cold, ice cold, icy. Should have. Should have is that modal verb phrase used to express past obligations or duty. Regret, remorse, missed opportunity, hypothetical situations, advice or recommendations. The past action that did not happen. The past action that did not happen. I should have studied harder. Regretful situation. You should have told me earlier. Mischance, we should have invested in that stock. Hypothetical scenarios. If I had won, I should have denoted to charity. Advice, you should have taken the job offer. Important synonym is that ought to have, could have, might have, would have, in some extents. Should have informal. As soon as. As soon as is an subordinating conjunction used to indicate immediate actions after a condition is met. Simultaneous event cause and effect relationship. To indicate immediate actions, I call on you as soon as I arrive. To describe simultaneous events, she smiled as soon as she saw him. To show cause or effect, and he felt relieved as soon as he finished the exam. The important synonym is movement, instant, immediately after, for, once, as long as, directly after, upon, when. Use as soon as with a simple past and present perfect tense. Avoid using as soon as with the future present perfect tense. Butchery. Butchery, cruel, ruthless killing of human as at slaughterhouse. An abattoir, slaughterhouse, the butchering of meat, a disaster, effort, or atrocious failure. This week impossible to pronounce word, Katina, granted it is a little trickier, Palinamro, but there was no excusing the verbal butchery that ensued. Retreat. Retreats, present participle, retreating. Simple past and past participle, retreated. To say or do something. To say or do something for a second time, such as for emphasize. Important synonym is thus retreat. Let me reiterate my opinions. Vocate. Vocates, present participle vocating, simple past and present participle vocated. To move out of dwellings to other property either by choice or evictions. I have to vacate my house midday as the new owners is moving in. You are hereby ordered to vacate the premises with 14 days. As the Muslim Arab bloc was pledging solidarity with Palestine in Riyadh, the Israelis were busy pouring cool water over any prospect of a sovereign Palestinian state. The new Israeli foreign minister said that statehood was not a realistic position, while Tel Aviv extremist finance minister has asserted that plans are ready to annex the the occupied West Bank. This is clear message that Israel not ready for peace and Tel Aviv's bloodthirsty expansionist policies will continue. As as is a conjunction in the same way or manner that to same degree. Do as I say. I am under a lot of pressure, and you know, as you wish, my lord. The kidnappers and released him as agreed. used after to so or as introduce a comparison. She is twice as strong as I was 2 years ago. It is not so complicated as I accepted. Used to introduce a result with the result that it is. Expressing connections through show. Pledge. Pledge is present participle pledging. Simple past and participle pledged. To make or solemn promise to do something. Pledge allegiance or to the flag. To deposit something as security to pawn. To give assurance of friendship by the act of drinking, to drink to one's health. Prospects of refer to the possibility or likelihood that something will happen in the future, especially something it is looking forward to something that might bring positive outcome to potentials for growth or expansions in particular market or industry. Statehood. The property of being state. Alaska did not attain statehood until 1959 when it became the 49th state of United States. Realistic. Expressed or represented as being accurate, participle, practicable or not idealistic. A realistic appraisal of the situation relating to the represent of object actions or conditions as actually or not were. A realistic novel about the Victorian poor. Asserted. Assert is stated, declared, or alleged, especially with confidence but no proof. Annex. Annex and addition extensions. An appendix is book to documents. Additions or extension to building. An addition to the territory of a country to state from a neighboring country or state, normally by military force. Bloodthirsty, comparative bloodthirstier, superlative bloodthirstiest, thirsty or blood, inexorably violent or eager of bloodshed. Murderous, synonym as bloodlusty, homicidal, murderous, murderous. Expansionist refer to a policy or ideology advocating for territorial expansion, economic growth through expansion into new markets, industries. A person or entity seeking or expand power, influence, or territory. Synonym imperialist, colonist, aggressor, expansionary, growth oriented. Historical to a Roman Empire expansionist policies lead to its vast territorial research. Economic companies like Amazon and Google are expansionist, constantly entering new markets. Political China expansionist policies in the South China Sea have raised concerns. Moreover, Donald Trump is assembling a mortifying lineup of pro-Israel, anti-Iran hawks to head position in the UN and the State Department. It is safe to say that peacemaking will not be a priority unless that peace entails total capitulations of the Arab side. Assembling. Assembling, she worked all night assembling the bicycle but not succeeded. A gathering or assembly. Mortifying. Mortifying causing mortifications extremely embarrassing. Line up. Hawks to. Line up. Line up sports collectively members of. Team manager failed his strongest lineup for game against United. Hawks 2 is not a standard phrase, but I assume you meet Hawks 2 to advocate for a hawkish stance to police or policy aggressive militaristic to sport to promote Hawks views. You might be thinking of to scavenge or hunt like a hawk. Synonym hardliner, militarist, aggressor, belligerent, warmonger. For example, the politician Hawks views on national security. The Hawks function within the party. Entail. Entail present participle entailing. Past simple past and past participle entailed. To employ, require, or invoke. This activity will entail careful attention or detail. To settle or fix inalienably to a person or thing or on a person or a descendants or a certain line descendants. Said specially to state to best to as heritage. Absolute to appoint heredity pressures. Possessor. Capitulations, a reducing or heads or articles formal agreement. The act of capitulation surroundings an enemy upon stipulated terms, an act of easing a resist an opponent, an unwelcome demanded. The instrument containing the term of agreement or surrender, and enumerations of the main part of the subject. Related terms chapter, capitals, capitalism, cap, captain, and capitulate. Exactly 550 years ago, Yasser Arafat told that the world while speaking at the UN that held forth an olive branch as well as a freedom fighter gun. Do not let the olive branch fall from my hand or forth warmed sidely in their arrogance that Israel have effectively cut off the hand holding the olive branch which has left the Palestine clasping only a gun. Exactly, exactly, exactly without approximations, preciously measures exactly so we can sure is light. The edge is not exactly straight. He divided the coin exactly in half, preciously used to provide emphasis. He did he did it that way exactly to improve point. Synonym approximation accurately, exact, perfectly, see as exactly. Don't let the olive branch form all my hand. Do not let the olive branch form my hand. Maintain peace or diplomacy. Hold on to the opportunity for reconciliations. Reserve the chance of peaceful resolution. The olive branch is a universal symbol that peace, harmony, reconciliations, truth, forgiveness. Origin in an ancient Greece, the olive branch was a sacred symbol of peace and prosperity. According to the legend, Athena, the goddess of wisdom, planted an olive tree to the Acropolis, which became a symbol of peace and protection. Arrogance, the state of being arrogant, a type of extreme of Polish pride in which someone feels much superior to another. effectively and is an effectively or effective manner with powerful effect, essentially in fact for a practical purposes. On paper, the answer seems to be yes, effectively, and answer no. Clasping is a verb that holding tightly, grasping firmly, embarrassing closely. It can describe physical or emotion actions. Clasping hands, holding hands. Clasping arms, clasping object, grasping, holding onto something. Important synonym grasping, gripping, holding, embracing, clutching. She clasped his hand for comfort. Her clasped the trophy tightly. We occurred on October 7, 2023 was the result of the Israelis repeatedly dismissing the Olive Beach. Today Gaza is massive graveyard, Lebanon is on fire, and the entire Middle East on the brink of a conflagration. The only solution is Israel to stop its slaughter and recognize the reality that Palestine cannot be erased. Occurred is the past tense that past participle in the verb occur with mean to happen or to take place, to come into exist or sight, to be found or discovered. Even the ancient occurred the last night. Discovery: a new species occurred in the remote region. The situation: a power outrage occurred during storm, happened, took place, transpired, came out, about, across, arouse, emerge, existed, was found. Brink of: it is a prepositional phrase on to the verge of, close to, about to happen, almost at the point. Crisis: the country is on the brink of economic collapse. She is on the brink of new career. Disaster: the project is on to the brink of failure. Important synonym: verge of, edge of, threshold, cusp of, point of, border of, on the cups of, at the recipes of. The team is on the brink of victory. The company is on the brink of bankrupt, bank, bankruptcy. She is on the brink of tear. Conflagrations: a large file extending to many objects or over a large space or channel burnings. Firestorm info: it took 60 firefighters to put out the conflagrations. Slaughter: the killing of animal and generally for food. The killing of a large number of people and mass destruction of non-living things. A rout or decisive defeat. A group of against mess cannot be is a phrase used to express impossibility, prohibitions, negations, inability, unlikelihood, the physical impossibility, the door cannot be opened, logical impossibility, a square circle cannot be done, prohibitions, smoking cannot be allowed here, inability, I cannot be there on time. Unlikelihood, he cannot be serious. Important synonym: cannot, can't, impossible, unfair, unfeasible, unfeasible, not possible, not allowable, not feasible. Present tense: cannot be. Past tense: could not be. Future simple: will not be able to be. So thank you very much, and like this video and subscribe channel. Thank you very much.